The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm Nikki Glaser. I'm in Hollywood, California. With me today is Noah. She's in Arizona. Anya is in Cupertino. And Brian Frange is right here on the couch next to me. What's up?
We're in like an eco cave.
It's an eco hotel. It's clean.
And sharp.
It's sharp. It's so sharp.
I think I bumped into like 6 or 7 things on the way up here.
It's so sharp. The
sharp
lobby's
in that
nice
way.
though, right?
Oh yeah, when I
Doesn't
went to the
it
lobby, I
smell
felt like I
good?
was in a tropical resort.
It's like the Rainforest Cafe
Yes,
updated.
yes.
It is so nice down there. It smells really good.
They're like,
I'm
we
kind
have plundered the rainforest to give you the most eco-friendly experience.
Everything's made of, Palo Santo or whatever. It's really a good vibe up in this place. The lobby is
It's
so
reclaimed.
nice. Yeah.
Reclaimed from a rainforest cafe that shut down in 2003.
My joke for the Rainforest Cafe was like, if they really want to make it the Rainforest Cafe, it should just have like bulldozers and like crying monkeys. One time there was one under construction at a mall and I was like, this is the greatest joke ever because there was literally a bulldozer in there and I was like, it's an accurate Rainforest Cafe. But I like this place because the lobby's so nice and because hotels now, I don't know if you've noticed after the pandemic, they've all decided to change their check-in time. What did it used to be globally, internationally,
Noon,
across
1?
the board? No, 3 o'clock. That was always the check-in time, always. Now what is it? 4 o'clock. Did they send out a memo? Did they send out an alert? No, they all secretly changed it during COVID when Chris the other day said COVID was a reset button and everyone kind of gets to go play by their own rules now.
Yes.
They reinvented
And they
things.
raised all the prices on top of that.
Raise the prices. Now housekeeping is like, oh, we're trying to save the planet, so we do it every 3 days. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, you're understaffed and you're cheap.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scam. Like what I've heard is that it hurts the staff because they're not cleaning as much, they're not working as
getting
many
paid.
hours, they're not getting paid. So when they say like, oh, as to save the COVID or whatever, or even if it's like ecological, they say we're not going to come up and clean your stuff, and it's like they would prefer it. The
Maids
workers would
are
prefer it.
dying to get in my room
Yeah.
most of the time. They're always like, you don't want anything? You promise you don't?
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh man, I guess my sheets are a little sweaty. Get in here, lady.
Yeah.
No, there's a sign in there on the bathroom, and it's so, I was like, wow, they did some marketing research on this or just did some psychological research. So the sign says, hang up your towel to indicate that you don't need a fresh one. And then, so that we all know that sign, that's usually put there. Then underneath it, it says, most of our guests opt to do this. It's okay sometimes to be a follower.
Oh my God.
Isn't that, wait, let me just read it. Hold on.
Oh my God, that's like an abusive boyfriend.
Yes, yes.
What the fuck?
Okay, repeat after me.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat after you.
Hanging up your towels means we will leave them right here.
Hanging up your towel means we'll leave them right here.
Most of our guests do.
Most of our guests do.
Sometimes it's okay to be a follower.
Sometimes it's okay to be a follower.
That is
Okay.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a really overbearing mother.
And you know what? They know who they're preying on, people in Hollywood. And everyone here wants to do what everyone else is doing. And I bet they did research and they realized in some R&D that people don't hang up their towels because even though they would reuse it, they think that they are gross or they think that other people wouldn't do this. And so they're like, if we just make it seem like most people do this,
Yes.
then everyone will follow. That's so weird.
Yeah.
They're trying to save money, but I always hang up my towel. I never need fresh towels as long as they have time to dry.
Unless
No,
Ian
to go
Fidance is
against-
staying with you.
Oh yeah, Ian Fidance bled all over my towels
all
last
over.
week. Not even my towels, Chris's towels. Chris didn't even know he was coming over to
I love
use
that
the
he
shower.
folded them and hung them back
He
up.
put them
bloody.
back with blood on them. His cheek, his fucking lip blood, all over them. God,
I love him so
that
much.
fucking hillbilly.
Shrimp King.
Yeah, well, this hotel, it was just cheaper than I stay in like 3 hotels in this area within walking distance to the Comedy Store. And this one was just the cheapest for a suite because I'm tired of staying in like a tiny room. And And I'm kind of, I'm a little perturbed by that sign. And they're trying to save water, but the bath is like a fucking pool. So I felt really bad last night as I drew a bath. I don't feel comfortable saying I drawed a bath.
Well, yeah, it's highfalutin.
Yeah.
To say I drew a bath.
Well, Anya was talking about dressing a wound, and I was like, did you put a hat and scarf on it and some sunglasses? Like dressing anything, like I don't.
They're all arapes. Brian, do you have any
Yes.
ear rapes? Any words that make you cringe?
Yeah, we call it. Irapes.
None.
No,
No,
way.
You're so
I don't know them.
easygoing.
Well, it's like things
Listen, I'm
like
chill. I wouldn't say anything about your towels.
on Instagram when people say like this guy, this one.
Oh, I hate that.
like those little things.
Oh, I hate that. Oh.
Yeah.
Every time my fiance, I hate fiance. The word fiance
Oh,
too.
really? I love that word. That is what I'm most looking forward to in possibly getting married, engaged. I want to be a fiance forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because people get excited. You get attention when you say my fiance. People go, "Oh, when are you getting married? How did he propose?" And everyone's excited for you. When you say my husband, everyone's bored by that. No one cares. There's no follow-up question. It doesn't spark conversation. It sparks a little sadness.
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh,
I don't want the whole how'd you meet conversation.
I'm not saying fiance on a plane next to a stranger.
No.
I'm not saying anything. But if I want to like feel cool, I don't know. I just think fiance is cute because it shows that your relationship is in a good place. It's the only time that you are actually pretty in love because you could still call it off if you weren't in love. So you must be in love, but you're also in love enough to take it to the next level. Husband, I know you're locked in. You could fall out of love with this guy. You could hate your husband. You probably do.
Yeah.
But fiance, you at least, I know you guys are happy.
That's 100% true. Because
Right?
fiance is in this zone where you're like, you guys are gonna have a wedding. I mean, I'm sure there's some unhappy fiancés out there, but for the most
100%.
part, a fiance, you're in a good spot. And if you could just say the word, my fiance. It's almost impossible to say with a negative connotation. Where I could say
my
my
fiancé.
wife.
Yeah.
My wife. It almost comes with a negative connotation
I know.
automatically.
I was
Yeah,
writing up our
Borat.
wedding invitations over the weekend, and it like all the suggestions were to say, "We invite you to this celebration of the marriage of Anya and Matt." And I was like, I hate this word marriage. I wanted to say wedding, but all the invites say like, "You're invited to the marriage." Do you guys hate marriage too? It just sounds so
No.
boring. Marriage.
It is.
Marriage, institutional.
It is boring.
I'm like, no, it's
It's
a
a-
wedding. Like, come to our wedding.
I just realized I'm on a podcast with 3 fiancés.
bar?
You're
Oh,
all
sh-
fiancés.
Can I
You're
just
all
say
in
what
that
I
fun
love about
zone.
fiance? I don't like the word either, but what I do like about it is that it's kind of like ambiguous. Because when I say fiance, it's like I'm saying partner. You don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Really?
Yeah.
And I love that.
I've never had that thought ever.
Well,
like-
you used to say partner.
I know, but I never think like if I say my fiance that someone out there, like maybe 1% of the population would be like, could be a woman.
Right. I never thought about that either. I don't really. Wait, why do you like to have that? Why do you like the ambiguity?
I just like it. I have no explanation.
You
the
like to
mystery.
confuse and baffle people.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
you might.
I guess-
You have something
Yeah.
over
Dating a
them.
woman.
They don't know.
I'm going to start
Okay.
saying I'm going to marry a
Being
woman.
mysterious.
I do hate boyfriend is hilarious to me now. Just as, I feel like I'm in the like when I used to say my grandma had a boyfriend. I'm in that stage now of like it's ridiculous to have a boyfriend. I'm 38. What is this? A boyfriend?
Yeah, no, it's very
Man
juvenile.
friend doesn't sound good either. But boy, the word boy is.
Why
in
is it boy?
I don't know.
Well, it's-
Because it's a juvenile thing.
Yes.
Because we used to get married by the time we were 17. So
Yeah.
under that, it was boyfriend.
Well, the boys would get married at 17, and the girls would get married at like 13.
Yeah.
I was
That's
on
how
a-
it was.
Oh God. Have you guys watched Waco?
No.
Oh my God. It's so
I watched
good.
that place burn back in '94 or whenever it happened.
It's
When I was
so
a kid,
good.
just
Yes,
being
we
like,
all
"What the hell
watched
is
it
this
in
thing? It's
real
on
time.
TV all the time. This burning building."
It's
Yeah.
wild. I wish they would have done it. I mean, unless there's another episode, I think it's done. But it left me with a few questions. But there, so many of the people are still believers, and one
No
of them is
way.
like defending him, like being with 14-year-old. She's like, she goes, a woman comes of age at 12 in our religion. So it's like, it's
Yeah.
wild.
Oh man,
It is really well done.
Boyfriend
Though.
feels. I gotta watch Waco. I will watch it because it almost reminds me of like it was one of those '90s events where it was like September 11th. I mean, I know that wasn't in the '90s, but
Feels like it.
yeah, it kind of does. I mean, it was pretty close. The bombing, the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oklahoma City bombing.
That was the first one I remember. I was in 4th grade.
And Timothy
The World
McVeigh.
Trade Center bombing.
World Trade Center bombing.
So
I missed that one. I don't remember that one.
What the 9/11 really did the most damage to the original World Trade Center bombing because nobody remembers that now.
Oh my God, you're right.
The guy who did
Never
that bombing, yeah,
They did not get to never forget.
that's
no,
right.
no,
They
everyone
gotta,
forgot that one.
instantly forget.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine? You're sitting there and you're like, I'm famous for this, and then someone does it twice as big.
I mean, not only twice as big. I mean, how many people died in the first one? Because I know 1 million people died in the second one. I'm just kidding. That's one of our
Callback.
yeah, on my original radio show on Sirius, Jen, who worked on the show, I asked one day how many people everyone thought died in 9/11.
Yeah.
And she guessed 1 million. It was so cute.
In terms of the impact,
it was just
it
under
feels that way.
3,000. And then after with victims later on, it's been thousands.
So where were you?
Where was I on September 11th?
On September 11th.
I was in first period, AP English, Miss Larson's class, and I said, "What's the World Trade Center?" And she goes, "You don't know what the World Trade Center is," and she like really was mad at me.
Oh my God.
And then I got a 5 on the AP exam, and she called me and was like, "I can't believe you got a 5," and I'm like, "Yeah, suck
the
it, bitch."
fuck?
Yeah, she was like, really did not think
But she
that I had
called
it.
you?
Yeah, she called because
She called
they
you?
call you to tell you your score.
Oh,
She
okay.
gets them.
She called your house.
Yeah, she called my house in the summer and was like, "You got a 5. I can't believe it." She's like my mom.
Wow.
She's
I
nagging
can't
you.
believe
I know.
People
People
love
love
you
you.
this much. Yeah, where were you?
I was also in class, and
I think most of us were.
my math teacher was like in their 80s or something, or at least in my when I was whatever age, and thought my math teacher was 80. She might have been like 40.
Okay.
That's just
yeah,
the way it goes.
Yeah, you're right.
But she refused to acknowledge
Too
it.
old to have a boyfriend.
Too old to have a boyfriend. No, although she did have many. I feel like I felt pretty bad because I was on Long Island and my dad's a
Whoa.
firefighter and he had to keep shifting. He had to keep shifting towards Manhattan. And so I was like really nervous about this, but my teacher refused to acknowledge anything was happening. She made us learn differential equations or whatever. While we were all like, can we just please watch the news? And like most of us, we're on Long Island. Like most of us have like family members who are like
Yes.
rushing to the city or work in the city.
Jesus.
We didn't know what was going on. Like we thought
Dad
we were
was
under
a
attack.
Firefighter?
He's a volunteer firefighter on Long Island.
Oh my God.
And so what they would do is all the firefighters on Long Island would have to keep shifting west towards the city because all the firefighters in the city were now at the World Trade Center and someone would have to cover their
imagine
spots.
You have a fire at your house on September 11th.
Oh yeah, well then somebody out east would have to come out to cover for the people who are supposed to be there because your
Got it.
firefighters.
So everyone's
are-
shifting.
Yeah, and I was like, how far is he shifting?
People in Hawaii are like, we got to go to LA.
They eventually.
Yeah. Shit.
That's why there was all those Japanese firefighters in Long Island on 9/11. People think it was for other reasons.
So yeah, that Columbine, another seminal
Yes.
disaster. And then they just keep on coming. I don't know why I like morbid things, but I read about these things a lot.
Yeah, you get into
interest
it.
Me. Yeah, I mean, I can't help it. But at this point with things that happen, I'm just like, I'm over it.
If you were a teacher during something like 9/11, what would you do? Would you stop the
I mean,
class?
I can't say what I would do, but I'd be looking for any reason to stop the class. I'm bored. I don't like work. I'm not trying to get jobs done. I'm not ever
So you would
someone.
like put on a movie?
These people, you know me too. Everyone who's worked with me, I'm always looking for some reason to
Yeah.
not have to get the job done. So I would have been excited to put on the TV and to watch, but I would have been a little bit mindful of the fact that if I was in your teacher, that kids might know people. But I mean, that was just such an insane fucking day.
Insane.
No one knew what to do.
You know what? I mean, I feel kind of bad about it, but I was like kind of excited was my initial feeling.
I mean,
I don't
think
know why.
Listen, I could go into some weird thoughts that I've had when there's announcements of certain things, and I go, only 30 casualties. Well, what are they even reporting?
Well, I
this
didn't
for?
understand what was going on. And so it was just like something exciting
Well, it
was
shook
happening.
up the day.
Yeah.
You know?
And then after I went home and I was like horrified. I remember in school like running around the hallways like something's happening, we're under attack, and I was too young to understand.
Yeah,
like,
what were you in 8th grade or something?
Yeah, I don't remember
No,
exactly.
you don't remember what class that was in?
I just remember it was math.
Well, that teacher, what grade? What did you have that teacher? Come on,
Well, I had her
man.
multiple years.
Well, what
must have
year
been
were
in
you
high
born?
school.
Because this was
Yeah,
2000.
there we go.
88.
88. Okay, so you were in 8th grade.
Okay, yeah. So they refused to acknowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was running around the halls, being like, "We're under it. What are we gonna do, guys?" Like me and my ragtag
Do you remember if you were in
crew
your middle school running the halls or if you were in your high school?
in my middle school.
Okay, so you were 8th grade. Okay.
Well, no, I don't remember. I was just
You don't-
basing that off of.
You just picture hallways and you don't know what
well, it was the
hallways
same
they
school.
are?
It was the
They all
same
look the
school.
same.
Why were you in a big school that had all the grades?
They were attached. It was the
We
same
were
school.
attached.
Well,
We were attached.
It was attached schools. There was no change at all. You would just go one floor up or one floor down.
What? That sucks. 'Cause
I'm
it's
sorry.
fun to go to a new school.
Yeah, well, I didn't get that. I'm sorry that I
Didn't you
didn't
feel
get that.
cheated?
I could have gone to any. I could have moved.
Well, no, you couldn't. You're kind of locked in.
Child.
Did you guys go to you went to like a separate, you changed schools,
I had a
right?
school
Isn't-
like that too. I went to a middle school. First, I tried a real junior high. After I remember, I went to a one-room schoolhouse, K through 6, with 30 kids. So I was a completely Little House on the Prairie. Then I transferred to
Is that like Montessori or something?
No, it's just I grew up on a mountain, and there were no kids here, and that we had one school, and the school was the school district too. But then when I went to 7th grade, I was like, what are y'all doing here? Because I just was wearing the same outfit every day. Like, I didn't know how to be cool. And that I just failed so miserably at that school. So then I begged my parents to let me go to this other middle school where I knew some kids from my other school. And then we had jungle gym bars. And I was in 7th grade, but I was hanging out with the elementary school kids at the jungle gym bars and doing like dead man's drop and suicide. Do you remember these moves on the bars?
No.
Oh, they were so cool.
What's suicide?
Like, here's a bar, and then here's your knees. You're sitting on top. This is suicide. You go back, and you do a full 360 turn, and you end up sitting back on the bar again. See?
Oh my God.
It's insane.
That's really hard to do.
I know. China taught me. That's where I met China, my best friend. And yeah, and I was happy in that school. But I remember all the girls were getting their periods, and China and I weren't yet. And we were like, we just want to hang out with the 6th graders on the jungle gym bars.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Yep.
Did you ever play pea gravel?
What's
No
that?
pea gravel?
No.
No.
What? That is definitely
It's a Long
your
Island
school
game.
kind of thing.
It was called pea gravel because
Pea gravel.
there was like gravel, like little rocks. And I don't know why it's called pea gravel. Maybe because the rocks were sizes of peas.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all makes sense. You walk on like the jungle gym / wooden, kids thing, and you can't touch the pea gravel. And if you do, you have to like go home.
Well, the floor is lava, right?
Yeah, I guess we called it no pea gravel.
That
And we'd
was
say-
just your school, Brian. That's not like a ubiquitous
There's
game.
no way that would be a thing anywhere outside of your school.
And then I went to the Midwest and I asked, I was like, hey, you kids want to play no pea gravel? And I got arrested.
You ever
Wait.
play a tree trunk with one branch?
Wait, so did you have friends in middle school? Were you like, what was your like kind of vibe? back in
I had
middle school, high school.
My middle school friends changed from my high school friends, but I do have a.
Just because.
Well,
they
I
just
had one friend who was almost exactly like Cartman from South Park.
Really?
Yeah, he was exactly like.
like this.
Yeah, yes, he does. And he would walk around and he would mimic Cartman because.
Oh my god! Oh, because Cartman was big
Because he
back
would watch
then.
Cartman, and he'd go like "No Rochambeau" and stuff like that, and he'd try to kick you in the
Oh.
balls. But I remember when we stopped being friends.
Why?
Yeah, and it was we had a friend. His name was Doug, and we had another friend named Chris who lived. We all lived around the corner from each other. And Chris had this dumb statue on his front lawn. It was like a little boy holding a lantern. You ever see one of those?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
What is the point of-
Classic.
Yeah, a little like horse boy.
I don't know why people gravitate towards dumb shit like that. Like what? Probably because of the towel thing. Someone else has it.
Yeah.
But what does it mean?
I don't know what the little horse boy
Okay,
means.
so it
I
had a
understand
dumb-
like a dwarf. It's like a fun,
a little
fantastic,
garden gnome?
a little garden gnome. Those
Sure,
are cool.
yes.
But to put a horse boy holding a lantern on your front lawn
Yes.
feels like you're trying too hard to please somebody.
Yes, absolutely.
So we had this dumb statue, and our goal, and we ride bikes, and our goal was to ride bikes over there and knock over the statue and then run off, and the little horse boy would be on the ground. And so Doug and I went over there with this other kid, and we sneaking up. We feel like we're about to rob a fucking bank. We're like, this is like the most exciting thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
We go up. It's like the middle of the day,
It's
too.
so exciting.
Yeah, to do kids shenanigans.
Yes.
Shenanigans.
Yes.
We run up to the statue, and I'm like, all right, we got to push this over. And me and the other kid, we gently like place it on the lawn. And like, get the fuck out of here. We got to run. So we start running, and Doug, he trips.
Oh, no,
He trips.
Doug.
He trips and he falls, and he has his arm outstretched towards us while we're getting on our bikes, and he goes, "No!"
Like you're leaving him on the battlefield.
Right, like we're leaving him on the battlefield. He's like, "Don't leave me here, no!" And we're like, "We gotta go," and we ride off and we leave him behind.
And that's,
Well, and then we circle back like 30 minutes later, safe amount of time.
I know, you go and you wait and you're like, do you think they've noticed yet? And you go back to the scene of the
Yes,
crime.
yes,
Classic criminal behavior.
Yeah, and we also are wondering if he's still laying there. He really didn't seem like he was gonna get up unless we helped him.
Oh my God, Doug.
Oh, he just wanted to suffer.
Yeah.
He wanted us to betray him.
He sounds like he fell on purpose.
It feels like it.
When
Okay.
you're
And so-
embarrassed, though, you'll do ridiculous things. I was in an ice skating competition once when I was 9, and I tripped and fell in the first 20 seconds of the song. And
God.
while I fell, I thought, this is so embarrassing and so bad. Pretend you fainted. I let all the music play out, and it was like so.
You just laid
You were
there
just
on
laying
the
on the
ice?
ice?
Yeah, just laid there.
Doug on the ice?
And like ruined all the months of preparation just because I was so humiliated.
How long were you laying there for?
Like probably 60 seconds. And then I was
Until someone...
I think
It's
no
so
one
funny
came
because,
to
like,
save me, and I just
'cause
got
you-
up eventually.
And the music's playing?
In your head,
Music's
you
playing.
thought that someone was going to be like, she fainted mid sow cow.
What was
Yes.
the song?
It was something gross, like, my heart belongs to daddy. And I think my dad was on the ice with me because my fucking coach was like, we're going to have your dad out there in a folding chair reading a paper. And I
Oh
was like,
my
later on, I
God.
thought about this. I'm like, this is sexualizing children. Like, why am I doing my heart belongs to daddy? The song is
Totally
about
is.
your boyfriend, not your daddy.
Oh, okay.
What?
I think the song is like, my heart belongs to daddy, my boyfriend daddy. Isn't it?
No way. It's about your dad. They would
Well,
not
then
be using
maybe I
daddy
was just
sexually.
really wanting to fuck my dad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all mixed up.
It's
in
a
there. We
sexy
know that.
song though. But anyway, then I fainted, then I fell. I tripped on something and fell, and then just decided to really go for it and make it look like a huge fall. And I like slid across the ice on my face, and then just laid there. And I accidentally
And the
like
song's playing.
the song's playing out, and I just
And
was
you're
like,
And your
Lay-
dad is just still maintaining his
I think
role in the lawn chair.
I don't
reading a
think he was
paper.
even noticing me. So typical. I think it was just like in character. Yeah. And then I finally got up and tried to finish the routine, but
He doesn't want to mess up his Rambo show. What was it?
I'm
again?
for sure.
Embouchure.
For sure.
Oh, sorry, I messed up the Cartman thing.
Rochambeau is what
Rochambeau.
Cartman used to say.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Okay, we gotta go to break, and we'll find out what happened with Doug when we get back after this. I know you're on the edge of your fucking lawn chairs. Welcome back. Well, we all need to know what happened to Doug laying on the lawn next to the little kicked over.
So we
Lawn
returned back
boy.
to the lawn, and Doug was not there. The statue was still over. Nothing occurred. Nothing.
Nothing.
And so obviously at some point, just like Anya on the ice, at some point the jig is up, and you just have to get up. That's the funniest part. It's like you've been faking this. No one cared.
Yes.
And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to get up now.
Oh my God. Faking things is so embarrassing when you like. I faked crying before to like get sympathy from a boyfriend, or like faked being asleep.
Oh, yeah.
So that you can like, so that you maybe look like a precious angel, and they'll maybe like kiss your head or something. Like, why do I do any of this stuff? Like, it's so
And
embarrassing. Or fake
everybody
like I don't
knows.
see someone. Fake like last
Oh.
night there was someone in the lobby, and I know her, she knows me, but there's like a little bit of a weird thing between us. Like,
Oh, yeah.
she's friends with someone that I'm not like friends with anymore. And it was just kind of like, and I would have said hi, but I was like, maybe she saw me and doesn't want to say hi because I think she had a chance to see me before I saw her. But when I
Yeah.
saw her, she wasn't looking at me. So I thought maybe she had turned prior. Because do you ever catch someone before they see you and then you like
Oh, yeah.
put your head in a way that's like, then I don't have to catch their eye. So it felt like it was like that.
There's nothing that makes someone notice you more than when you catch them and you turn away and they didn't see you.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden they're like, someone did that. It's like everybody has a spider sense
Yes.
for that.
I do it all the time. I've pretended so many times not to see people, and I'm really good at it.
And then
Actually,
what
I
happens-
always see people before they see me.
Yeah. I can
Generally.
see that. Yeah, you're good at scanning.
Yeah,
You're a good
You're
scanner.
good at scanning.
Thank you.
I always see you.
Scanner Darkly. Isn't
Yeah.
that a movie?
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
rotoscope movie with Keanu Reeves from 2007.
Okay.
I have
Thank you very
something
much.
disturbing to tell you guys.
What?
My Heart Belongs to Daddy was originally done by Cole Porter, and the woman does a striptease in the play singing that song. And it's a fucking song about.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the adults who
And
assign that song
it's
to
about
you,
a boyfriend.
Yep. It's about a boyfriend. It's like the lyrics are like, Lolita, if I invite a boy some night to dine on my Finnan Hattie. Is that like a euphemism? I just adore his asking more, but my heart belongs to Daddy. And Marilyn Monroe did a striptease to it too. And
Okay, so Daddy in the song is still your dad.
I don't think so. I think
But
it's for
yeah,
my boyfriend.
I want more, but my heart belongs to. No, I think she's talking about like I can't sleep with you because my heart belongs to Daddy. Like I am
Okay.
a young.
Well, one of the lines says, "My heart belongs to my daddy, 'cause daddy, my little old daddy.
Oh,
He treats
it's her
it
sugar
so."
daddy.
That little old
Daddy
man,
is
he
her
just
sugar
treats it so
daddy.
good.
A newspaper magnate introduced with the words, "I've come to care for such a sweet millionaire." She does
I
a
don't care
There we go.
what it
striptease.
means. It doesn't matter what it means. The lyrics are lascivious. Is that a word?
Yes,
It's lascivious,
Yes.
lewd, and there should be no young child doing a ice dance.
Oh my God, I
to
just
this-
remembered my outfit. It was fishnets. I was wearing I'm 10, 9 or 10, wearing fishnets and a tight leotard, and I had a boa, and I like used the boa around my dad, and he was in a chair. This is fucked
No,
up.
you did it.
Okay, Brian remembered he was molested yesterday, and I just remembered that I was a victim to a fucked up thing by my very sweet ice skating coach who probably...
And your dad. Your dad is an adult and signed on for this.
Oh my God, yes.
Sorry.
And then what's with the dad sitting in a chair with a newspaper? That's part of it?
Yeah.
Well,
I
it just
kinda-
gave him something to do.
Oh,
Because he
okay.
can't be on the ice like skating around.
No,
He's a
no.
daddy.
Yeah, he's a daddy. He
This
only
is
pays
all
for
very disturbing.
It's so gross. Is it news to anyone that old men want to fuck young girls? This is the society we live in. They want to fuck young boys and young girls. That is what, like, there's so many of them that want to do it. And they can't hide it sometimes. Remember Serge Gainsbourg and
Yes,
Charlotte?
his daughter?
Yes. They had disgusting songs together. I kind of like it when it comes to the surface because it's happening beneath the surface all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just now kind of coming to, I think in the past 20 years, we've all kind of woken up to like, oh, you shouldn't sexualize children. But it was happening all the time during the 70s, like looking back on our childhoods. I think it was happening a lot more frequently. And you
Yes.
still see it like, even like, I don't know. I
about
sometimes
those, like,
see just little
pageant
girls.
shows?
Yes, the pageant things with the girls wearing makeup and even girls getting their ears pierced. I'm like, stop bejeweling this child.
Yes.
Why do you need to do that? Isn't she already a little jewel? And then, like, why does she need to be like more sparkly?
And your
Yeah,
whole
like,
point
isn't she already
about
precious?
giving little girls dolls and like that's your baby.
Yes.
Like that's
This
weird.
is you're a mommy. Train for what you're going to be doing in a couple years, and it's just Santa Claus sit on my lap. I'm an
Yeah.
old man, and now your kid is on my lap, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna and just
And whisper in my ear what you want.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh
all very
God.
sexual.
Yeah.
I mean,
But what the reverse? So back in the whatever 1600s, little kids would be dressed up like little moppets. They would have like full dress and leggings, and they would be covered in cloth.
yes.
And they
That's
would walk,
better.
They would walk around like this.
Okay.
What
Remember
is
that?
a moppet?
I don't
They
know what
would dress up like a Muppet.
I don't
You
know
mean
what
a Muppet?
is.
Yeah. No, a Muppet is a.
Well, we know what a Muppet is.
we
You
all
don't
know-
need to finish that sentence.
What the
Can I
fuck is
just
a Muppet?
explain what a Muppet is? A Muppet. Haven't you ever seen the what's that play? The I don't remember the play.
Avenue Q, those
Yeah.
are Muppets.
Yeah, Avenue Q.
Yeah, those are
Those
Muppets.
are Moppets. MOO.
No,
P.
that's Moopet.
A moppet is a small, endearingly sweet child.
I got it right.
Yeah.
They
okay.
dressed them up like Moppets.
Well, no, I think they already are Moppets because they're a small, sweet, endearing child.
Yeah.
You have to cover them in cloth?
Yeah, I
You
didn't
cover
know.
them in various layers of cloth.
Oh my god, I went.
And they walk around like this. And there's no sexualization until they turn 13. And then you sell them.
And then and then
You sell them to a man who has cows. And you say, you can have sex with this kid. That's basically what happened.
yeah, it totally
No
is.
more Moppet after. Although then the husband would dress you up like a Moppet.
What? Oh, and yeah, because then it's
Then it's your mine.
You're mine, and you cannot be sexual for any other man. Yeah, it's all fucked, man.
Can I finish the Doug story? Because I feel like now
Yeah.
too
Yes,
much time has
Doug.
passed.
The Doug-
payoff is not good enough for the amount of time that's passed.
I mean, that's why I got away from it. I felt it coming. I felt there was not. This was really the first September 11th attack or the first World Trade Center attack. I wanted to forget it. Go on.
All right, so we go back to we go to Doug's house and we knock on the door, and he opens the door and he is shirtless, drinking. He made this drink that was a full glass of milk with a full sleeve of Oreos absorbed into the milk.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he would drink that. And he opened the door shirtless, and we're like, "Oh, Doug,
That would be so delicious because
know.
after you drink down the milk, which disgusts me, by the way, I think even before I was a vegan, people just drinking milk straight up is the grossest thing I could ever imagine.
Yes.
But then afterwards, the Oreos soaked with the milk, and so
Yes.
they're almost like you could bite into them even if you have fresh veneers because they just give way right away.
I was just thinking,
that
I
consistency
can't even
makes
enjoy
me
this fantasy.
so happy. No, you can. This one's good for you. This is all for you. Okay, so he drank his milk drink. He's shirtless.
And we go, "Doug, are you okay?" And he goes, "We will never be friends again." And he
Whoa.
slammed the door, and that was it. Done.
No.
He was never friends with us again.
Wait
He
a
would never
second.
hang out with us
Because you left
because you
him
left
there?
him.
because we left him behind. No, leave no man behind. That was the code, and we didn't abide by
You
it.
betrayed him.
Yeah, we
and
all
so
had
for
that
the
blood
rest
pact.
of like, because you went to college at your high school too, right?
Yeah,
You
so
just
we'd
kept
stay in the
going.
same building. That's where I still live.
Did you
I
ever
lived there.
speak again?
Never. No. I mean, we
Whoa.
would see each other, and he would just be a scowl.
Man,
Be a scowl.
That's tough. Did he find other friends?
He moved.
Did you get bullied? Ever? Were you guys cool or were you kind of like I picture
I
you
was
like
in
freaks and geeks?
in
like
high
kinda-
school. I was in that world between dorks and
Most
cool kids.
comedians were.
Yeah.
Most people I know were somewhere in between. Noah was. She was just trying to stay under the radar. She was kind of. Were you goth, Noah?
I mean, all the goth kids were like cool in one section of the school.
Yes.
And I wasn't a part of their club either. I was like an uncool, like wannabe different person.
But you
I
just
don't
wanted
know.
to not be seen. Was that
Oh
your
yeah.
thing?
Yes.
Did you
Yeah,
want
yeah, yeah.
friends at all, or had you given up on that?
Well, I gave up on it because I was like embarrassed of how we lived. So I just had like one friend who was just as poor as me. So I was like, I'm never gonna invite anyone
That
to my
happens
house.
so much. There was a kid on stage last night. This guy Aaron from Kansas City. I forget his last name, but he was the MC, and he was talking about. He's joking about it, but growing up, and his mom was a hoarder, and he and his brother would just lie and say that that you know. Our parents are sick, or like you can't come over. They just stopped having friends because they were too ashamed of the house, and so he didn't have any friends. It just breaks my heart that parents' disease makes kids not want to have people over.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
but I think that happens all the time and makes kids so lonely. Whenever I hear about kids not having friends or not enjoying high school, it just and most people don't. I think.
Did you enjoy high school?
I fucking loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it so much. That's why I'm obsessed with Columbine. I think I just want to go back to the days where I was in like things that happened when I was in high school.
And pre-Columbine. I mean, those were the days. No fear.
Oh, you didn't have to take your shoes off to go through TSA?
No, you didn't do anything.
Wait, no, that wasn't high school. Yeah. Pre-Columbine? No, we didn't have any measures after Columbine that were like instated.
People felt like that was going to be a one-off thing that never would happen again.
Yeah, even though it was happening a lot before Columbine, too.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
everyone thinks Columbine was the first one, but no, it was happening. They were copycats. But yeah, I loved high school so much.
Did you play
Nikki's
sports?
still very good friends with all her high school girls.
Yeah, in fact, we're gonna all go hang out with them this week. Tomorrow, there's a girls' trip that Anya, Noah, Carlisle, Sarah Lena, Kirsten, Hala, Taylor,
Lauren.
And your sister.
and my sister. Oh my God, yes. So there's like 9 girls going.
Wow, where are you
And
going?
3 of them are my best friends since childhood, and the rest are all friends I picked up along the way. Palm Springs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what to expect. I mean, is it that far away that it's going to get that much hotter? LA, it's like
It's
raining
only going to
today.
be like 70 degrees.
Okay. Yeah, the woman from the Airbnb wrote me and said, "Do you want an extra $100 a day? I can heat this pool up for you." And I go, "Heat it up, baby."
Yeah.
Preheat
Damn.
that pool. So we're gonna have a pool and a hot tub.
We went to Palm
Yay.
Springs once.
Oh yeah, we
Do you remember
did.
that? That was so
What?
long ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why?
That was the only time I've ever been.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, you got to go back.
What did you
I
guys
don't
do
have
there?
You
good
gotta
memories
go.
from that.
Palm.
I
it
think
was.
Chris
it was
and I
a
were
strange-
fighting or something.
It was. We were like, okay, July 4th weekend's coming up. What are we gonna do?
So hot.
We got to do something.
Yes.
We were in this mode where it was like, we can't let these holidays just waste away.
And I was like, yes, we can. I have a boyfriend that is very much like, we gotta seize the day.
Oh, he seizes.
And he does. He loves traveling. He loves experiences. And I'm like, we can absolutely have a forgettable 4th of July, but no.
We said no. We're gonna go to Palm Springs.
Yes.
And we're gonna hang out by the pool.
Right.
And, yeah, and it was extremely hot. And I had just gotten Jack, my dog. That was a brand new dog, basically. And he was so hot in the car, and I was like super
Were
nervous.
you single at the time?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you were single, but Rob was there
Yeah,
with his
my
wife
friend Rob
now.
Stern and,
yeah.
and Meredith, who were married.
So you were just the extra.
I was the fifth wheel.
the fifth wheel.
Yeah, fifth wheel.
I remember going to a Mexican restaurant. I don't remember much else from that
we
trip.
got Thai food delivered.
Yes, I remember that.
And I remember the mist by the pool.
yes.
But other than that, it was excruciatingly hot.
yeah.
And Luigi was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that too. I remember the okay, so but isn't that weird you can go on a whole trip and not really remember fucking anything?
Well, that's Palm Springs.
Really?
Palm Springs is a haze, especially when it's hot. You just go there and
My
let it
memory
absorb
just
you.
throws everything away after a decade. It's like with taxes. You just
Oh,
throw away
yeah.
anything older than 7 years. I meet people and they'll tell me, remember we took that road trip to LA and you had an audition? And I'm like, I don't even know your name. I don't remember this at all. And they're like, it was
Totally.
just you, me, and 2 other people in a car for hours.
Yes.
No recollection.
Yeah, there are things I've talked about, like podcasts I've done, and like things that have documentation, like that I will never remember. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I met Larry David, and I said, "Nice to meet you," and he said, "We've met before."
He remembered.
I forgot meeting Larry David
Wow.
because I think I expunge things that are too much for my brain to handle. Like
Yeah.
knowing Larry David or meeting him, if it didn't go the way I wanted it to, reset button. And I just
Right,
don't
right.
want to. And so when someone goes, "You don't remember meeting me," I always go, "I didn't remember meeting Larry David, so of course I didn't remember meeting
Well, you got to
you."
do the trick, the Hollywood hello. Well, no, that's
Oh,
not the
nice to
Hollywood
see
hello.
you. I don't like that nice to see you shit.
Yeah, nice. You don't like fake?
That confuses me.
Yesterday, Kathy Hilton did it to me. I love Kathy Hilton, but I went to the Paris Hilton thing
Okay.
against what I wanted to do, which the only reason I didn't want to do it is because I didn't have an outfit planned. I didn't have hair and makeup. I'm like sick. I think I have bronchitis or something. Like I just didn't feel good, but I went because we talked about it on the podcast and I knew that like I should do this.
Yeah, you're peer pressured.
Am I glad I did it? No, absolutely not. I should have stayed home. I was not in the mood to do it. Kathy Hilton, but she twice, I go, "Nice to meet you. We've never met before." I gave her that in of like, I'm acknowledging you shouldn't know who I am.
Yes.
And she still double timed, "Nice to see you" to me. Which if you don't know and you're listening, "nice to see you" is the way that people in Hollywood greet each other in case they've met before, it covers you for meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you. Or it's like we've never met before, or we've met before. Nice to see you again. It kind of covers that as well.
Yeah.
But she's locked into a nice to see you. She's adopted that, and that's her thing. And she was hilarious and really fun and funny. And Paris was just great and beautiful. And we shopped for baby clothes together at Saks Fifth Avenue. And every little garment was more money than I've ever spent on a shirt in my life for this little baby that would wear it one time.
For like,
maybe.
you can only fit in it for 2 days.
But it was very normal the way the shopping went. Like you'd think shopping with Kathy in Paris would be this like monumental event and like they would shop in a different way. No, same old way. You just like go, this is cute. At one point I go to the woman working, I go, how many times a day do you hear this is cute? She was like, thousands. And then Kathy goes, this is adorable. I go, what about adorable? And she goes, less so. And I was like, yeah. So I regret doing it because I wasn't my best self. I wasn't like, I don't feel super comfortable being like the kind of funny that I am around Kathy Hilton.
Yeah.
And I looked I looked like such a scrub. I put on the cutest outfit I could find, but I had no plans of even going to dinner with a friend while I was in town. So I don't have any cute clothes. And Kathy Hilton at one point held up, I was wearing like a sweater with flowers on it, like these like daisies on it that I've worn a million times. It probably smelled. And at one point she held up like a kid's thing that had like hearts and flowers all over it. And that was really ugly. And she goes, this would match your outfit. And she wasn't trying to be mean. She was just right. And I was just kind of had to swallow and be like, oh, because I saw her take in my outfit. Like, what is this? I mean, the irony of everyone that works at Saks that kind of judges you when you go into a nice store and you feel bad about your outfit and the staff there is kind of like, you're gross. I always want to be like, you can't afford this shit either, bitch. You work here. You're making $7.50 an hour. Why are you judging me? I got to remind myself of that. People that own shops are not like rolling in dough generally, or even working in shops.
I don't understand shops at all. I see shops all the time. I don't see anyone in there ever. They have like 5 shirts.
It's a billboard.
It's just a billboard.
Yeah, that's what they're mostly for.
Yeah, especially on Rodeo.
Yeah.
The old Rodeo.
Yeah.
But these places make you dress in their clothes, but they won't really pay for it, and they give you a tiny discount. And that's the hard part. You have to have like
I feel
new
bad for them.
outfits all the time, and you have to basically invest all the money you're earning there back into the dumb store.
Yes. The Carlisle made me laugh so hard. This whole like you get a discount thing. Doesn't everyone realize that everything's marked up like 100%? So if you're getting a 10% discount, it really is not a lot. But Carlisle was talking about this new building she moved into over Erewhon, or might move into. And they give you, if you live in this building, 10% off at Erewhon.
Oh, wow.
Which is fucking nothing. Erewhon makes Whole Foods look like a soup pantry. Like it looks like a place you'd go to get free food if you're homeless. Like that is the pricing at Erewhon.
Erewhon's insane.
10% off is nothing.
Well, 10% off at Erewhon is like $50,000.
Yeah, they have some spinach dip or something there that's famous. I forget what it is, but I saw it on Instagram. It's this big. It's like a quart, and it's $45, and they sell it during some holiday.
Erewhon's insane. And Erewhon just opened up around the corner for me, which means like
it's amazing. Noah and I went to one together recently for lunch. It's great. I mean, it's great stuff, but you have no business walking in there unless you're rich.
No, I mean
They
you're
had
bad
valet
with money.
parking. Remember?
Yes,
It's filled with people with eating disorders. When I had a full raging eating disorder and I was going to like 2 Bikram yoga classes a day, I would just starve myself all day, and then at night, because I was so whatever it's called, orthorexic, where you're obsessed with like only eating organic food, I would go there and get these raw brownies that the only ingredients were like coconut oil, cacao shavings, coconut shavings, and that was it. And I would just eat that and be starving, and it was probably like 3,000 calories or something, and I'd be like, why am I fat? Because I just wasn't eating anything all day and then just eating like a bunch of coconut oil at night.
Yes.
It was depressing. And they cost so much. It's like $30 for those fuckers.
when Carla said that, I was like, I need to get through to her. Do not go there. 10% off is not enough to justify Erewhon. That's how they get you.
You can't grocery shop there. That's insane.
No.
It's already really expensive. If you go to Whole Foods, you get
Whole Foods is already a ripoff.
Yeah, if you get it delivered from Amazon, then it costs there's fees in that, and then there's like Trader Joe's, which is a
embarrassed
good
to have
price.
my groceries delivered because then people have to see what I get.
When
And
you
it's
get
just not-
when you get takeout food, you know how they put like a sticker over the bag, or they staple it, and there's a sticker that says "sealed for your protection." You ever get that?
No, but I haven't noticed it, I guess, because I usually am just like ripping it open like a fucking wild coyote. What?
Well, it's like a new thing.
Okay.
Like if you get DoorDash, you get a bag, and then they'll put a sticker over it that says "sealed for your protection."
Uh-huh.
I was just wondering what you thought about that.
Well, I think that people were eating things before.
Oh yeah.
I think people were rummaging around in there.
That's insane.
Or
No,
poison?
it's not.
It
I get
is.
it because if you're making no money as a little driver and there's some fresh fries in a bag,
And then they eat one
eating
of your fries.
and guess what? I don't think it's that gross. If they're not touching your other fries, why is it that gross? Let them have a fucking fry.
Well, the sticker's not going to stop them then. You just pull it up and then close it.
Well, yeah. Well,
If
no.
they're gonna go
you
so
probably
far as
can't
to-
re-stick it.
You think it's a
Well,
one
last
stick
night I
only?
got Takaya and I spent fucking $90 on my Takaya order. They always throw in like 4 silverware things because
Yeah,
they think that's how many people I ordered for. And I ordered all these sauces and none of the sauces came and I was so furious. And then I was just
the
like, who
worst.
cares? Like, who am I? Like, I get to have this delivered. I get to spend $90 on takeout and it's like not a treat. It's just like the way I live. Like, I'm doing pretty well. I can live without my sauces tonight.
Sure,
But
sure.
it was annoying, and I did go on the app, and I got reimbursed
Yeah.
$10 or
But that's
whatever I
automatic
paid.
now. So that's
Good
great.
for you.
Yeah. Well,
What,
thank you.
My
With the
mouth is
extra
so
mile.
stupid because right now I'm listening to your story. I have no idea what Takaya is, and my mouth is watering. I'm like, you don't even know
'Cause of
what
the
she's
sauces.
talking about.
The idea
I just
of
heard
sauce.
sauces. What is it? Japanese food?
No, it's Mexican.
Okay.
Takaya Organica.
Yeah.
Yeah, Organica.
Wait,
It's
you
modern
love the
Mexican.
salsas. You like
I
drink
do.
salsa now.
I
What's your
do.
favorite
I
drink?
it's one of my favorite drinks. I love sauces, but I just am in this new thing of like when I'm starting to feel this panic of like persecution, I just have to go, you're lucky, and everything works out for you. So it honestly probably worked out that I didn't have like acid riri because of the salsas. Like I could sleep through the night. I keep waking up. I have this cough that like won't go away. It's crispy. Listen to my crispy cough.
Honestly, it sounds good.
Really?
You'll
If
have
I
it
had
soon
that
too,
cough,
Brian.
yeah, I guess so. But it sounds like a cough that's like
Yeah,
working.
yeah, you will.
It's
You want
working on
it?
your
You
behalf.
got it.
I don't want it. I definitely don't want it.
He's already got it.
But
That
it's like
cough is-
crunchy.
That's what's good about
It feels like I'm shaking a can of Pringles.
Yeah, it sounds satisfying.
that
yeah.
cough is better than
You want to know
many
though?
coughs that
it's
I've heard.
not getting anything up. Once in a while something comes up, but there's nothing moving. And my voice teacher said it's probably bronchitis, and so I looked up bronchitis, and I mean it checks out. I mean, what's the difference between the croup, bronchitis, strep? Strep I know hurts. This doesn't.
Yeah.
My throat's not hurting. But I do wake up in the middle of the night just like dry, like like coughing and crunching.
Well,
all
the reason
over.
I say it sounds good is because I think it sounds like a quality like movie, like a Foley artist cough.
Oh, thanks.
Like you'd put that cough in a movie because it's like not
fake
upsetting.
coughs are the worst.
Yeah.
When someone's
Yeah,
like,
why don't you do some ADR work and earn some money while you're at
Yeah,
it?
"Oh, that's a good
stop
point. I
wasting your
should
time.
commoditize this.
It's
Commoditize?
only-
Commodify?
You only have it for a little while.
God, man, Succession has the best word usage.
Yeah.
I keep watching the show and I have just like a list. Can I go through a list of words and see if you guys know
Yes.
what these words mean? I mean, Anya's very good at words. Ironized. That's the first word before I find my phone.
I mean,
Ironized?
Ironized.
to make ironic?
Yes. How
Oh,
do you
wow.
know that? How do you know that? Because
That-
I thought it was
that
to like
wasn't
make
that
something
smart.
irony,
I
like
was-
make it like iron.
Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of chemical reaction that makes it iron, like
Yeah.
iodized.
Yes, that's what I thought. How did you know that, Anya?
I just guessed. I don't think it's that smart of me, but give us more.
No, it's very smart.
Okay, patois.
Oh,
Patois.
Yes, that's French. That's French. When a duck, you have a duck fat inside of
No,
a.
that's pate.
here's my guess. An
Uh-huh.
overall coloring or color scheme or like
Patois.
It's French for 3 dads.
It's the dialect of the
language?
common people of a region.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
of course.
Far
I
off.
said that.
Okay.
Patois.
Inchoate. Inchoate.
Oh, I
Inchoate.
should know this.
That sounds like a new tech company.
Yeah. Or it looks like it says like in chocolate. Like look at how it's spelled.
Inchoate.
Is it like
Inchoate.
And they have to say it in a British accent to make you sound
Inchoate.
really stupid.
Inchoate.
Okay.
it's like something that is you're born with or something? No?
Well, kind of close. Well, you're beating around the bush. It's just begun and so not fully formed or developed. Rudimentary.
I should know. That's such a good word.
Epiphenomenon.
Wow.
Oh,
They say all these
yes.
words in
Epiphenomenon.
succession?
Yes, and they do. It's nuts.
Epa means revolving around something,
Epiphenomenon.
and a phenomenon is some a event that occurs. So revolving around an event that was a significant event.
A secondary effect or byproduct that arises but does not causally influence a process.
That's
Does that
right. They
make
were
sense?
talking about that in the show. Weren't they talking about like the definition or not?
No, they weren't talking about the definition. They just used it. They just expect you to know these things. They all God, this show is so freaking good. The new, I know you don't watch it, but the new episode is fucking incredible.
You watched
And-
the new episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Damn.
obsessed, and I love I just love everything that's happening on that show so much, and I don't want to give anything away, but Logan has like a there's this one part where, you know, the patriarch, who's this like disgruntled gruff man who just says fuck off all the time. He's just mad, and no one can get him. Like he's never lost. He always wins. And he has this moment in this diner where he's asking his bodyguard, and he has no friends at this point. His family's kind of estranged, and like all of his friends, and his wife is fucking, they don't want to divorce because it would cost too much, but she's gone, you know. And he's just like at this diner with his bodyguard, and he's just like, what do you think happens after this? Like, what do you think? What comes after? And the bodyguard's talking, and he just keeps interrupting him because this guy is incapable of like hearing anyone else out or being interested in anyone else, like most men on a date. And so he just keeps asking questions that he answers himself. And then he goes, I don't know. The thing is, you don't know. You can't know. And he goes, but I've got my suspicions. I've got my fucking suspicions. He's mad about, like, this guy is always paranoid that someone's out to get him.
Yeah.
And he's even, when after he dies, he's like already angry about whatever's like going to happen to him. And like someone's going to try to fuck him over. It's just so well done. And the acting is superb. And I just love it.
Do you have a
so
favorite
much.
character?
Yes. Fucking, what's his name? Roman. He's my favorite. He just is like, fuck you, and just like quick, and he's says the funniest things, and he's also like the most emotional, and he's, you know, I don't know, like he's just been kind of screwed over because he's the youngest one, and he was kind of like bullied as a child, and he has weird sexual hangups, and he talks like this, and he's just like, fuck you, sis, I don't care. And I just think there's like an innocence to him. All together though, Tom Wamsgams is the one I'm rooting
Yes.
for, and I'm really glad that he's fucking giving Shiv the shiv and is like not putting up with her shit anymore. And he's just a sweet character. I love them all for different reasons, and I also hate them all for different reasons.
The show is
Anya,
so
did
well
you see
done.
the new episode?
Yes,
I watched it twice.
I'm ready to go back. I think the
Yeah.
part with the Burberry bag is great, and I loved the article in the Cut about the Burberry bag. This one
yeah.
character shows up to a party, and they just do such a great job of showing all of the bullshit around wealth. Like she has a $3,000 bag. This one girl.
That's a $3,000 bag.
Yeah, it's a Burberry bag, and
Oh.
evidently Burberry went through this whole, not scandal, but like their brand kind of went down. So they're poking fun at the bag because she's not the right kind of rich. Like she shows up with a big clunky Burberry bag, and
Yes.
so Tom Wamsgans has a great line that's like,
I'll rate it to you.
yes,
'Cause
oh,
I have
it.
a account that said, so he says, so Greg, the young like cousin Greg, who's kind of like a buffoonish character, he brings this girl with him to his uncle's birthday party, and he's like, I think, you know, he goes up to Tom and he's like, I think she's leaving, I don't know. he goes, why? Because she brought a ludicrously capacious bag. What's even in there, huh? Flat shoes for the subway, her lunch pail. I mean, Greg, it's monstrous. It's gargantuan. You could take it camping. You could slide it across the floor after a bank job. And this is the bag in question.
It's so funny.
It makes me like so paranoid that I have big bags now. And capacious was a word I had to look up right away. I paused it because I was watching with Chris, and every time a word comes up that we don't know, I pause it. I go, "What do you think that means?" And so he was like, "I think it's like capacity, so big." And I'm like, "You're right, capacious.
Yeah.
That's a great word."
Yeah.
Is Chris always
Especially in
getting
an
queen
insult
bee on the
context?
I'm
Capacious?
I mean, that was me yesterday. I was the girl with the big bag walking into Saks to meet Kathy and Paris Hilton, two of the most articulately, perfectly, poshly dressed people.
Yeah.
I looked like a hoodlum, and there was no other. And by the way, I was texting the producers on my way there, being like, "I'm dressed disgustingly. I'm really anxious about it. I am not feeling good. I need you guys to know this." And I show up, and they go, "You're fine." And she goes, "You're dressed exactly like me." And I go, are you going shopping with Kathy Hilton? No, you're a crew member on a show all day. I was like, I'm not supposed to be dressed like you. She was like, I'm dressed like you. I'm like, yeah, but you're working all day.
So how did it go? I mean, you
I mean, I
regret
wasn't
doing
able
it.
to be that funny because I was just too nervous. And like, if there was one other funny person there, it would be fun because that person could like, if I would have brought a friend who is funny, we could have been funny with each other and laughed at the fact that our jokes don't go well. But when I make a joke and it doesn't go well, it's just Kathy and her
They're not good
Paris and her
laughers.
mom. They're not good laughers. They just don't. Kathy didn't know who I was. No context for who I was.
Yeah, it was nice.
Paris
nice to
didn't
see
fill
you,
her
though.
in. Right. It was nice to see me.
Yeah.
Paris was just like, "This is my friend Nikki." It wasn't like she's a comedian. So there was no like
Right.
pretext for like let's expect her to be funny. So I was doing kind of funny things and saying funny things, but I also felt so uncomfortable with how I was dressed. I couldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
I couldn't be myself because I
actually
just
thought your
felt
outfit
so
was
bad.
so cute. I liked it.
I felt
was like,
so
oh,
embarrassed.
That's adorable.
The way Kathy Hilton looked me up and down, I guarantee you would not have felt
She was like,
comfortable
"This
in
is
my outfit.
capacious."
Yeah, I looked capacious. My
consider the
pants
source.
were too big. It was just I didn't look cute, and I just didn't feel comfortable. Regardless of, they were so nice to me, and they were so funny, and they were funnier than I was. I was just too nervous, and so I'm saying this next time. I'm gonna trust my instinct and not go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're right. Sometimes the thing that's hard to do, that you're like, do the hard thing. Sometimes you don't want to do it because there is a reason to be scared. You're not prepared. We got to go to break. And I'll talk more about, and then I had a whole night last night as well after this. So I finished the Paris thing yesterday, and then I had like a couple hours before I had agreed. Somehow I agreed to do 3 sets, and I don't know how it happened, but I was like bronchitis, and then I couldn't check in my hotel till 4, so I got here at 1 and had to wait in the lobby for 3 hours
Oh
with
my
nothing
God.
to do except be on my phone and look at pictures of myself when I was thinner. And so I was just in a bad mood. I come up here. I smell bad, but I don't have time to really shower and redo my hair because I'm trying to keep my hair from the iHeart Awards so I can bring it to the fucking Saks Fifth Avenue and look like at least something looks good on me. And then so I feel sticky and gross, and then I'm like, okay, I'll get a little nap in. I can't nap before the sets because of my bronchitis. I tried to cancel a set. The 10:20, my latest set. So I had a 9 o'clock, a 9:30, and a 10:20, and I'm like, let me get out of that 10:20. But I agreed to do the 10:20 like that morning. So why would I get out of something that I agreed to do so late? But I wrote to him and I go, how annoying is it for me to cancel? And he was like, I just had Ida Rodriguez to cancel. And I'm like, I won't cancel on you. So I do them all. I had to kick out at one. I got heckled at the Comedy Store, and this girl was like, loved me. She had a shaved head, and she was just very enthusiastic about everything I said. And then they kicked her out, and she was like crying on the way out. And so that was kind of like rough. And I was a little bit mean because that's why I don't do crowd work, because I always go mean.
Yeah.
Because the funniest thing is to say a mean thing. It's not,
That's
'cause
not
at first
really true. You're so lovely. Like, you'll be like, you're straight, tell your voice. Like, which is mean but hilarious, and you're always very gentle with people. I feel like everyone knows you're kidding.
But that's not funny because I always gentle because I was like, babe, I'm so sorry you're getting kicked out. I was like, we know, like you. She was like, but I love you, and I was like, I know, it's just you're too annoying, and I go, I'm sorry you were molested because I was talking about molestation, and then she started mouthing up, and I go, this is the product of like if you touch kids, they turn into this, like someone who doesn't really know social boundary, like. She's fucked up from it. I go,
Yes,
100% that girl was molested. She had a shaved head. She was just being very loud and like, I love you. And she wasn't listening. I was trying to engage her in a way that like would make her a part of the show, but she wasn't responding. So they kicked her out and she's just pleading on the way out and like just begging. And I'm like, I abandoned her like Doug on that, on the battlefield.
on the lawn.
And then they told me afterwards she was crying outside, and they were really nice to her though at the Comedy Store. They were like, "Listen, it happens all the time. We know you were trying to help. It just didn't work out. You
She's
can come
just
back
too
again."
drunk to realize
Yeah.
what she's doing.
Yeah. So and then I go to the 10:20 spot, and Tiffany Haddish is there. She wasn't even on the lineup, but I go, "Oh hey," and I go, "You know, Bette Midler is here," because I'm walking in, and they go,
Whoa.
"This is a star-studded crowd," and I go, "Who's here?" And they go, Bette Midler. And I was like, Bette Midler is at a 10 o'clock improv show on a Tuesday? What? So I'm excited. I see her in the court, like in the back. She's by herself. I think she was by herself. And then Tiffany Haddish comes in and I go, Tiffany, Bette Midler's here. And she goes, I know, I invited her. And I was like, what
Oh
the
my
fuck?
God.
You're friends with Bette? And so she was like, I met her. She was like, I met her at the Met Gala the second time I did it. And then I ran into her and she was like, we kept in touch through the pandemic. And then I met her. I saw her earlier. I was having dinner and I saw her and I told her I was doing a set. And she was like, I want to go. So Tiffany brought her there. And then I did a set. And it was really fun because it's the only time I've ever been like, what does Bette want to hear? Like I wasn't thinking about anyone else in that crowd. So I did a total Bette set. And then I left afterwards and because I had to go home and sleep. And then I woke up to a text this morning that said that the booker of the show said Bette Midler was looking for you afterwards.
Oh,
she wanted you to take a picture with you. Isn't that sweet?
that's amazing.
I missed out.
Aw.
That was cool. And then I ate some sauceless Mexican food. Went to bed. That was my day.
What was the bet set? What kind of topics did you cover?
Aging. Being a woman in this industry and what the bullshit is and how you have to be so talented. If you want to get old, you better keep your talent up. And how, just like, and, fuck you, J-Lo, for lying to people. You've all had facelifts. Everyone has facelifts. I'm going to get a facelift. Just a lot of aging stuff and a lot of like calling hypocrisy out for Hollywood.
Did you see her in the crowd?
No, but she was right underneath the light in the back of the room. So it was like very dark.
You couldn't tell if she was laughing.
But if Bette asked for me afterwards. So I'm guessing.
Must have thought it was
so
good.
cool.
I'm guessing she liked it. So that
you
was
had
fun.
Bette Midler ask for you and that drunk girl in the same night?
I know.
I mean, you're crushing it.
Maybe it was Bette Midler in the first show. Yeah. Can you imagine throwing Bette Midler out of your show? I mean, you could have asked me all day yesterday, name celebrities that could come to your show, the least likely, and she would have made my list of least likely.
Least likely to show up.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're kind of like, no, that makes sense for Bette being out on a late. Jamie Lee Curtis won't go to a show at 7 p.m.
How old is Bette Midler?
I would guess. Okay, let's do a bet. Let's do a bet.
A bet?
A bet
Yeah.
for bet.
All right.
I bet she is 73.
Okay. Anya,
Anyone
what's your
else?
bet?
I thought
gonna
she was 72.
I'm going to
72.
say 74.
Wow, this is really all in the same range.
Would you guys have said this had I not said 73?
I'm going to bet that
I was gonna
she's...
guess
$1.
Yeah, I'm going to bet she's $1. I'm going to bet 80.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
betting 80.
I don't think that's a horrible bet.
Yeah.
Brian's over. Can we tell you how old she is?
Yes.
77.
Wow.
Not
Bette
bad.
Midler out at the fucking night
Did I
at
win?
77. Yes.
Anya wins.
I have a
Wait, did she
downstairs
perform?
neighbor.
No.
No, she was just watching.
Okay.
No. Yeah. No.
I have a downstairs neighbor who's 89.
Oh.
And she is...
Wow.
She's the type of person that would go to a comedy show at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday.
I guess that kind of keeps you alive to
You
be
gotta keep
that
moving.
active. You got to keep
Yes.
going like a shark.
The secret... Yeah, like a shark.
Yep, I heard you say it yesterday.
You're going to do it.
I'll probably make it to
You're going
probably.
to pull it off.
I don't know. I'm tall though. Tall people don't live long.
You're not
Well-
that tall. They say the new generation is living to 110. Is that right?
That's
Really?
what life insurance or people who do financials for like your long term, they plan for you to be 106.
Wow.
Which is good news.
Well, the fact that we're not all inhaling cigarette smoke 24/7
Yeah, that helps.
is going to give us a slight advantage. Our parents all inhaled cigarette smoke for 40 years.
Yeah.
Everywhere they went.
Yeah, they would smoke
30 or 40
too.
years.
And this is not-
and smoke too. But secondhand smoke was horrific on planes. I mean, it's just insane.
The fact that you could smoke on a plane is
The fact
madness.
that I walk by someone smoking and I'm like, oh God. And like that was just the air back then.
Yeah.
But
well, now I'm getting
nuts.
it. I'm getting it a little bit with weed smoke now.
Oh, weed smoke is everywhere.
People are not conscious of the fact that it smells for
No,
like,
and when
miles.
I've smoked weed, I've always been conscious of that. And people are always like, it's fine, it's weed, it doesn't. And I'm like, no, people, this is annoying. I've never been someone who smokes weed who thinks it's cool and that everyone should have to like deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm on the road and I'm in my green room and I know that like I'm not smoking out the green room. I just go in the shower or something and try to keep it a little bit contained. But like people who just waft it through the street and I'm constantly walking by it, be ashamed.
Yeah.
Be ashamed of this drug habit you have a little bit. Try to keep it, contained.
It's not about shame for the drug
Yes,
habit. It's
it
about
is.
shame for being rude.
Well,
Like maybe people don't want to smell that.
I mean, I hate shame and I think it's the worst thing possible. So I don't really mean that, but I do feel like I have shame with smoking, and I don't think that everyone should have to deal with it. I always ask beforehand if I'm going to do it in a green room with other people, like, is this, or I do it, wait till they're gone and like waft it away. But it's like, it's just gross.
But especially now that you can vape
like
and it
it.
doesn't smell like anything.
Vaping is so horrible and it makes you feel like I don't like vaping at all because first of all, vaping for me as someone who can be very addicted to weed is dangerous because you can do it everywhere. And at least if I want to get high and I'm smoking weed, I have to be stinky. I have to do a thing that I have a cigarette butt thing that I have to put out somewhere. Like it's an inconvenience. It makes it so like I have to really want it. When I can just vape anytime, any day, I'm high 24/7. It within 3 days, if I get a vape, I'm doing it constantly.
Yeah.
And I don't keep it to I'm not someone who can just like moderate. So I think smoking weed when I am in those spells of doing it, it just keeps me more honest and it makes me do it less because it is gross.
Isn't
And
it
it's-
crazy regarding like fears of what's going to kill us that no one was getting like acrylic nails done when we were growing up, really? And that stuff seems so toxic. And were they having like explosions of chemical gases like what they are now? Like, are we really better off now than when we were growing up?
Well, yeah, they weren't drinking from plastic water bottles constantly.
Right.
There's going to be new, and they weren't constantly on their phones all the time. Like
Yeah.
there are new cigarettes, and sugar wasn't in everything, and corn syrup wasn't in everything. So yeah, there are other things that are killing us, but
And there are things we don't even know that are killing us that we don't even know yet that they're going to kill us. 20 years from now, they're going to be like, guess what? LaCroix, bad.
Yeah.
all
Oh
those
yeah.
BPA's in LaCroix.
You know when you drank Vitamin Water Zero and you thought you had no sugar? Well, that's bad.
Well, we all know aspartame is bad, or
Well, that's not
whatever those
that's-
fake sugars are.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
not good.
I drink 6 Vitamin Water Zeros a day.
Really?
Well, no,
Still?
I'll drink like one. I think I have one with me.
I know. I saw
my
it in your bag. What is it called? It's a funky flavor.
Oh, this is the best flavor of vitamin water. Gutsy. It's a watermelon peach.
Oh,
Summer
that
flavor.
does sound good.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It'll kill me, but it's
What a
good.
rat.
Do you do
Racket.
that instead of water?
No, I'll drink. I just don't drink enough water.
I don't either. I don't like water. It's so boring and it like makes my stomach hurt.
Wow, that's not normal.
I don't like water. I really, unless I'm super thirsty, I struggle with drinking water. So
Are you drinking tap water? Or is it
yeah.
filtered?
I mean, I have a Berkey system that Chris got me, but I just like, I have no problem with tap water. Doesn't bother me. It's any water. It's just like, it is a nuisance to drink. It feels like annoying to have to do it. I'm
You gotta
never like,
chug it.
water.
Get your water in the morning.
I do
You
chug
wake
it.
up, you chug a liter of water, and then you're like, okay, that's my water for the morning.
Yeah, like a plant that you like forget to water all week and you
Exactly.
just dump a bucket on.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. I think you're supposed to sip it all day long.
I can't
Nikki's
do that.
been
So
a
hard to
chugger
do the right
since
thing.
infancy.
Yeah, I
She
was
sent
chugging a
us the
baba in a
cutest-
picture. There's a picture of me
cutest
as a
picture.
baby, and I'm just like this with a bottle, like getting the last remnants, like like just chugging a baba. Yeah, I chug everything. I get these extra hot coffees, like a venti coffee. I can finish an extra hot venti latte, and I'm not joking you. And this is without trying. 2 minutes.
Wow.
2
Wait,
minutes.
hot?
Extra hot.
Like
and
you
I
don't
got
have
them extra
burns?
hot. Well, I get them extra hot so that I slow down, because if it
Wait,
wasn't extra
Nikki.
hot, I could do it in one sip, a whole venti.
We have to tell besties how you get this extra hot feature. Remember, we had
Oh yeah,
someone
someone asked
message
a
you?
question. You just say extra hot, and then they just
They
make it
listen,
hotter.
and then they listen.
Yeah, it's almost it's a feature on the app too. You just put in extra hot. Yeah. Because I don't understand people that get regular drinks without the extra hot. If you get tea, that's different, because tea is always like so hot because of the hot water. But regular lattes, they would get room temperature within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. And people that just sip on regular lattes all day, do you not have a problem sipping on a room temperature drink? Noah.
Well, ever since you taught me about this life hack, I just order it extra hot now.
But before, were you like, oh, it's kind of gross now? 'cause
Yeah,
it's
it
like
would,
not
it would
that
get
hot.
cold.
It gets
And
cold
especially
immediately.
if you're picking it up, it's like like on the counter for
Yes,
who knows
and
how
that's
long.
why I always order them at exactly 4 minutes before I get there, because it will always be like up within a minute of when I get there, and it's not sitting there. And that's why cold drinks are always kind of advantageous. But those I suck down immediately. I mean,
Yeah.
like they don't stand a chance. I can do them in one sip.
I could drink a vitamin water all day long,
Me too.
like the complete cookie. No, I'm saying I could take one bottle and it'll last me all day.
what?
I'll-
I thought you
I'll-
said you had 6.
That was a joke. I was
okay.
doing it for the purpose
all day
of
long,
laughter.
you're just sipping on it.
Yeah, so what I'll do, which is like people
How does
find
anyone be like? Aren't you like starving to death if the speed you eat and the speed you drink?
I don't know. Something's wrong. But I drink some of it, and then sometimes I'll drink like a quarter of my vitamin water, and I'll put it back in the fridge.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
the
people find that
patience.
to be insane.
Yeah, it really is.
And then I'll have a half a vitamin water later. It just like it's like, oh, I can have some more of this later now.
No, I've never understood people that can like save leftovers for later, or go, I'm gonna have this lunch. I'm feeling a little full. I'll put it away and have the rest of it for dinner.
Yeah. Whatever I'm doing, it's not working.
No, it's great. What do you mean?
Well, it's not working. I don't feel good, but
You don't feel good?
No, never. But I do.
what do you feel? Final thought. Why are you feeling bad? What do you feel?
Oh, it's
Somatic. Let's do it.
It's totally. I mean, it's psychosomatic. I have
Oh.
constant pains, but I do save
where?
half a vitamin water, and that makes it all
Where are your pains?
everywhere.
Really?
Yeah,
You just
I
went for a
did-
run this morning.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that because it's raining,
Yeah.
and so I went for a run this morning in the rain because I go for a run in the rain more often than I will on a normal day because I feel like I'm getting something over on the rest of the people in the world who refuse to run in the rain, because it's like psychotic to be running in the rain.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's slippery out there.
Yeah,
it's,
whereas
it's uncomfortable.
But now I'm running, and it's like, yeah, I'm getting it done today. Whereas if it was a sunny day, I'd just be like, I don't want to go running.
So you're doing it as a fuck you to everyone driving by you, being
helped.
like, man, that guy's actually doing it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing a good job today. You're trying to like make people feel guilty.
I'm more motivated to do it when I get that
And you know
feeling.
what? This is what so many people do on Instagram. No one has ever been motivated by a workout you post on Instagram, by the way. Anyone posting your little workout or like how much weight you've lost or some stupid achievement, you've never made someone feel good about. The only person you're making feel good is you. No one's ever been like, wow, I'm going to go move my body today because you got in a bunch of reps of whatever dumb workout you're doing. It's solely to brag, and it's solely to make other people feel less about themselves, which is a great marketing tool for whatever business you're trying to run. So you're doing the right thing, but stop pretending Motivation Mondays that you're trying to motivate
Yeah.
anyone with your bullshit. You're not. You don't want anyone to look like you. That's what makes you stand out from people.
And then they say, I know a lot of people have been telling me that they were inspired to work out because I
right.
posted this. They say that. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's true or not.
Well, we all know that a lot of people in celebrity speak is one.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of people didn't ask how my drinks are getting extra hot. One person did, but it does become like people are asking. You know, I always see people writing like, a lot of people asking where I'm gonna be this weekend.
cracks me
A
up.
lot of people. And it's like one person DM'd you at most. And they probably weren't even asking that specifically of a question. And you could have written them back. You don't need to tell us all that a lot of people asking. And by the way, there are a lot of people, not a lot of people asking. It's just like, speak normally. It's just like, stop lying and saying a lot of people are asking. No one's
A
asking.
lot of people are asking me, how'd you get so funny?
But I just don't understand when I say a lot of people ask, sometimes there are things that a lot of people ask about something. But I generally don't think. There was a girl that we mocked so endlessly in my girls' chat who posted about, it's been 3 years since the pandemic, and these are all the things I've gotten done in my life. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. And just a list started appearing of like, I wrote a book. I sold a book. I froze my eggs. I had a baby. I lost 20 pounds. I ran a marathon. I did like all this shit. And it's like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Who is that going to make? First of all, we can't change the last 3 years of our lives. So unless I've done equally amounts of impressive things, this only makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
So the only reason you're doing this. So when you see someone bragging like that, please know that they are not trying to inspire you. There is not a part of them at all that is trying to inspire you. There are people on social media that do try to inspire, and they do inspiring things. But the people that post their workouts generally are not trying to
They're
inspire.
trying to sell you aloe. It's always aloe.
Aloe clothing.
Yeah, they're always trying to sell you aloe.
Oh, God.
I've never seen one of those videos without someone wearing aloe.
Yes. It's always aloe clothing, and it's always have you guys ever felt motivated by someone bragging on Instagram? Has it ever made you feel better about yourself?
Well, it can make you feel worse about yourself.
Yes.
Which then makes you motivated to do something.
That's never happened.
To close the
Has that
app.
happened to you?
For working out?
Yeah, to close the app.
Oh, not
It
working.
makes you motivated to close the app, is what Noah said. But it doesn't. It makes me go deeper and go, okay, let me go deeper in her feed.
I
What are
liked
other
how
things I
that
could be jealous
motivated
of?
you to create your own picture of what you've done since the pandemic, which was so
Oh
fucking
yeah,
funny.
so Carlisle. So I posted this in the girls' chat of like, who is this for, you guys? Who do you think this girl posted this for, other than herself, to just brag? And so then Carlisle made one of like all the things, like, it's been 3 years since the shutdown. Here's everything I got done. And then mine was, yeah. And so I made one. Carlisle made one. I won't read Carlisle's just for anonymity's sake, but mine was quite fun.
Nikki's was like, I've lost 10,000 strands of hair.
Mine was really classically like negative and exaggerated. Oh, here it is. Oh, so this is the picture
Oh, no.
that she posted, and it wasn't a picture, it was like her moving around, so I'm not going to show it, but she's
Yeah.
just like brag
Yeah.
all the way down. And so we all did one. I said, it's been 3 years since lockdown. In that time, I've farted in public and someone heard it 3 times. Spent $96,000 on an apartment I never set foot in. Prayed to God to end my life 1,611 times. Burnt my leg with a curling iron and now it's infected 1 time. Learned 4 chords on the guitar. Spent $15,000 on a book I never wrote. Dressed to go to the gym and never did it 203 times. Said fuck you and hung up on my mom and dad twice. Eaten 400 protein bars in bed between the hours of 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Actually followed through on 2 out of 1,766 creative ideas. That has been my 3 years of lockdown.
And that, I feel motivated.
I know, that's so
that
honest.
that makes people
connect
feel
with
better.
that.
When you share things about yourself that are embarrassing and are real, but sharing your things that you've accomplished only make people feel worse. And I wish people would stop doing it so much. And if you need to brag, just say, I need to brag.
I
Don't
mean, I
mask
do it
it
to
in this, like,
myself, and it feels good. Like sometimes when I'm depressed, that's a tool I use where I'll be like, "What did you accomplish today?" And then I'll write it down
Yeah.
for myself, and that feels great. But I'm not going
Yes.
to broadcast it online. Like, "Hey, you dumb fucks! Here's what I've
Yeah.
done."
You
You
fat,
slob.
lazy slobs.
You
Look what I
Slobs.
did. I'm working out at
Hogs.
6 a.m. So I ran in the rain this morning, but I didn't post about it.
Yeah.
Although I told you because I thought
No, it was interesting. You can tell your friends. You can brag and boast to your friends all you want. It's like when you're putting it on your social media. I think that we all are aware that we're all being poisoned by comparing ourselves to other people. So we need to do our best to combat that. And so when you post something that is really braggy, make sure you like tell the truth behind it. Like,
yeah, that's the way to do it cool.
I try when I post a really hot picture of myself to let everyone know all the work that went into it and like and to say I'm lucky. These are things I'm lucky that happen. It's not because I'm better than you. And it's like I think that people really do think they're better than other people.
Yeah.
Most of the time. They don't really acknowledge that it's just luck.
Well, you have to post, when you're trying to be in the public sphere, you have to post your accomplishments.
You have to brag all the time.
Like you always say, like the reason you get these Getty images is because you have to put a Getty image out there every once in a while to make people know that that you exist.
Yeah, you have to brag.
So like I always think about this because whenever I have something that I'm like, oh, I want to post about this, I don't know what to put in the caption to not sound like either way.
Yes.
Like I'm bragging or I'm too cool.
Hashtags are a good place to like let some like steam out.
Yeah.
Where you can go like, I hate doing this. Hashtag this is obnoxious. Hashtag tons of makeup. Hashtag it took a village. Hashtag we're all gonna die. Hashtag like I like to like remind.
Oh,
people.
you posted that in your last Instagram post where you were taking pictures on the red carpet.
Oh yeah, and I said we're all gonna die
Yes,
and we'll
yes.
all be forgotten someday.
Yes.
Because
So
it really did look like, who does she think she is posting this? I posted it because not because I'm like, look how hot I look. It's just interesting to see what that kind of looks like that from that angle.
And also, I think it's good to post that so that we know like what you're up to.
Yes, you need to it's part of my job, but I'm not going to deny that this is all really obnoxious and it looks like I think I'm better than people when I post this stuff, but I hope people know that I don't.
There's a lot of guys out there who are able to pull off just being 100% confident and like I'm the best, and that works for them.
Yeah.
Like there's famous guys
Yes.
who are just like, I'm the fucking best. Here's me on the red carpet being the best, and everyone loves them for it. I don't think I could pull that off.
No. I mean, red carpets are so embarrassing because you have to be like, I look sweet and pose in a way that's like, I think I'm great, and like put your chin up and like you got to just fake it.
Yeah.
But it does work when confidence is like everything. I've been attracted to like some really disgusting people because of confidence.
Yeah. No, confidence is maybe the most important thing in life
ever.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know what? It's not necessarily confidence. It's just being comfortable in your own skin and liking yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like thinking you're better than people. It's just being okay with you and not wanting more from not wanting anything more. Like not being jealous of other people. Like if you can nail that and really believe that and just be like, I like who I am, you are set. There's nothing more anyone should wish for in life than that ability. But it is so hard.
Yeah. No, I always say that about Malala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you always saying about Malala? That she just like likes who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of does. And Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also likes who she is.
Yeah.
And Lizzo.
Yeah. Well, Lizzo.
I don't know. Lizzo, sometimes I question. I go, is this performative body acceptance? Because I think at some point, women, if you ever feel insecure about your body, you can't tell anyone. Because then you're a bad example for women. So if Lizzo were to have a bad day, she has to just fake it like she loves herself. And I think she actually does. But I think there are a lot of women that just fake like they love themselves when they don't. And I don't even think that's good for women.
I mean,
Well, I
she
think
reached
sometimes
icons.
Lizzo will be like, I had a rough day, and she'll post about it. Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
I
right.
had some really tough times.
I
and
love
it's hard
Lizzo
to fake
so fucking much. I think she is just a gift to the world, and not just with her music. I really do think she is just so inspirational, and I do believe she really loves herself. All I want to know is what did your parents do? Because if I ever be a parent, I want my daughter to have Lizzo's love for herself. But how do you do that? That comes from parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always was like, what did Lizzo's parents do? What did Taylor Swift's parents do?
Or that's what Adam Sandler's parents did.
What
in
did
the Mark
Adam
Twain
Sandler?
Prize.
Yes, exactly. That's it, man. Okay, we got to go. Thank you for the shows this week, everyone. We really got to it. I will be in Bethesda. No, is that right? Bethesda? Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So, yeah. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania next week. Hampton, New Hampshire at the casino next week. And then off to Tucson and one other place too. I forget. But I'm on
Vegas
tour.
with Spade.
Oh, in Vegas
Yeah.
with David Spade, which I'm going over to his place right now to shoot a promo video. So I guess I got to put on makeup or something. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast this week. I'll be back in St. Louis next week, and
We won't have a pod next week.
Oh, no pod next week. We're taking a break because we're done with season 2, right?
Something. Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, so season 3 of the podcast will begin soon, but we will be off next week. But don't you think we won't be back, because we will. Love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Don't be and just be like Lizzo.